Disgruntled members of the African National Congress Youth League are currently marching outside the ANC's National Executive Committee NEC meeting in Irene, Pretoria, to demand the disbandment of the league's provincial and national leadership. For more, let's cross live to our reporter Natasha Phiri, who is monitoring the march for us. Natasha, what's the latest?
Well, very good morning to you, Blaine, and of course our viewers. We're actually still waiting for some ANC Youth League members. Of course, they are called, or they go by the name of the ANC Youth League Revive Movement, and of course they're staging another protest yet again outside the St. George Hotel here, where the NEC is expected to meet. If you'll remember properly, Blaine, the genesis of this march actually started here at the last NEC meeting, and of course throughout the period of 2 months, it actually has escalated to what it is right now. I'm told that 5 buses of these members are actually expected. Some taxis are actually coming through right now. But of course, their bone of contention is that they want the current leadership of the ANC Youth League to be disbanded. If you remember properly, around June, they actually marched to the ANC headquarters at Luthuli House, delivering a memorandum at that time to the ANC spokesperson, Pule Mabe, of which he received. Then after just speaking to the SABC, Pule had confirmed that our team will be set up to actually, help the conference convene this year. Later on, we then saw the movement deliver, court papers, or rather threatening court action to the SG, saying that they should disband the ANC Youth League. And of course, the cutoff date of that was the 11th of July. But currently, they have escalated their cause, and they once again marching here outside. They want the SG of the ANC, or rather the president even, Cyril Ramaphosa, to come address them and come address their needs. But let's just talk to one of the conveners, Mboniseni Dladla, on how their stance is and what they expect today. Thank you so much for joining us on the SABC. I see that, you guys have actually escalated your cause, and hopefully today the SG will address you on your demands.
Yes, no, thank you. You will remember that when we started, we were not more than 50. We came here to complain about the sorry state of the Youth League, that the Youth League is dead politically and organizational. We have elders who refer to themselves as leaders, but beyond that we have a legally illegitimate structure. So we put together a memorandum, we submitted, it was received by the former Treasurer General, the last Treasurer General of the Youth League, Comrade Pule Mabe, and the ANC said to us they are looking into the matter. We understood the processes. It was after elections, they had to deploy all those things, but now we need a response. The time we gave them, they have not said anything to us. The only thing we saw is an article from News 24 that the NWC agreed to dissolve the NEC, but nothing in writing was communicated. The only thing that was written to us was a letter from the SG, which says the Youth League is liquidated. To our surprise, the same people who are liquidated, they still attend NEC meetings, they still attend PEC meeting in other provinces. So today we said, let's try to bring everyone to protest outside. Maybe the ANC will give us a positive outcome on our memorandum. In
the last interaction with your movement, we noticed that you sent the SG, or your lawyers rather, had sent him a letter threatening court action. Has there been any response since then?
Like I mentioned, the SG only responded after he saw our letter.
And what was his response?
His response was that the Youth League is liquidated, the ANC is still trying to find all the creditors, wara, so that they can pay them, and then they will start the process. But our concern is that these people are still taking decisions, They still meet, they still participate in national programs. They are referred to as leaders of the Youth League. So we don't want to enter that space for now, because we said in our memorandum, the court will be our last resort. We think it's still a political program. We're engaged in a political process. We are hoping to get a response today from the ANC.
Okay, but just help me understand one thing. The disbandment actually resulted in the current leadership that you guys don't want, the leadership of Colin Maine. And yet again, you guys are calling for disbandment of the Youth League. Is that in the best interest of the league?
Well, we have no other option, to be honest. These comrades have collapsed the organization to its knees. They behave like parasites. They suck the living blood of the organization. They can't take us to any conference. It will not resolve anything. It will not have any political outcome because I don't know what there's nothing you can do about them. Just to disband them, put in a structure of young people, prepare to take the youth league to a conference, politicize and conscientize young people in South Africa to rally behind the banner of the ANC, and that can be done through a legitimate and politically sensible leadership. These ones, they represent nothing but themselves. So we are calling for all means necessary to oust them. If it's disbandment, yes. If it's expulsion, yes. But these comrades don't represent anything young in their politics.
Thank you so much. We'll catch up with you later on. Interesting views here from the ANC Youth League Revive movement. But also, Blaine, was actually interesting to notice that there's another faction here that's actually protesting outside the St. George's, and they come all the way from Maluti Apofog, and we'll just actually hear and gauge why they are also here today. Thank you so much for joining us on the SABC Mongezi. So your protesters have also come out here today to march, and I mean, what is your reason for this?
We are here, if you remember very well, on the 6th of June, we were submitting our memorandum to Lutuli House. On the 2nd of July, we did follow up there to find our...
What was the reason for this?
The reason is we want NEC to reinstate 16 councillors who are expelled unlawfully. That's the reason.
Okay, why were they expelled unlawfully?
They say, PEC, it says these councillors, they voted together with oppositions. But if you can check right now, our municipality led by opposition, Mr. Lebesa from Disgruntled, that 31 councillors left. They voted, they gave power to oppositions to Mr. Lebesa. So that's the reason we are here. If you remember well, President, on the 6th April, he was in Maluti Apofung. He claimed that these councillors are still members of ANC. So they have to do ANC job. Then these councillors, they campaigned for ANC up until Mr. President won the elections. After that, till now, they are still at home. They don't get their salaries. That is why we stand up as a community. We said, no, enough is enough. Maluti Apofung is our home. We need to stand up and fix our municipality.
Lastly, what outcomes are you hoping for?
You know, my sister, because I saw even my president is full of empty promises. He promised, I spoke direct to Mr. President. He promised to me that I think it's 2 weeks back. He said NWC it will resolve the issue. But after the meeting, nowhere to be found. Up until now. That is why I'm saying we're gonna sit here, my sister, today, tomorrow, up until they pay attention to us, up until they tell us we don't care. If you can check the posters. Some of the posters says no by-election in Maluti Apofung. They are busy proceeding with by-elections for this 15 wards. So that is why we are saying, Mr. President, now is time to tell us what we're supposed to do.
Thank you so much. Thanks for your time. Well, Blaine, and of course I've used huge matters here rising, and of course you've seen the various groups, the ANC Youth League Revive movement, and of course this very group from Maluti Apofung calling for the 16 fired ANC councillors to be reinstated. We are told that the NEC is to convene at around 2 o'clock, and it would be interesting to actually see if the SG of the ANC or the president himself, President Cyril Ramaphosa, or the presidents, I beg your pardon, of the ANC, will come out and actually address these various groups.
Things there in Irene, Pretoria, Natasha, for us. We'll try to get back to you as soon as possible or as there are further developments. Natasha Phiri there, live for us in Irene.